I think in general, we tend to like love those ideas, like those stories of people on social media and on TV and of celebrities when they basically hard launch that it's important to be consistent, it's important to be devoted, and it's important to wake up every day and just like grind. And I do think those things are extremely important. In all honesty, I think we all know by now that if you're really, really consistent in something, you're gonna get really, really good at it over time. That's pretty self-explanatory. However, for the average person, this isn't something that's like easy actually, which is weird because it's a very simple concept, but it's very, very difficult for a lot of people to wrap their mind around it and just like start. I think if everyone was able to just start like a business or like start running or start body lifting or something like that, and they were able to apply those exact principles word for word verbatim into their lives, I think we'd all be living extremely successful lives. It would be really, really fun and amazing, but that's not really the case. We see time and time again, there's only 1% of people who are doing these things. And so what does it leave for people like us who are extremely unfocused, who have a lot of ADHD probably going on in the background somewhere there, and they just can't just wake up and decide to start running every single day and be like super consistent with it on the first try? I personally think where I come in, where I have like a theory, which is definitely by no means original at all, and this is that it's so freaking important to take messy action. I've actually watched a video like this on YouTube already, and I just 100% resonated with that video because it's literally my entire life. Like my entire life has been a assembly of randomness that has led me to this exact same spot, like this exact spot. Yes, there is a very high possibility that the path that led me down this road could have been a lot more calibrated, calculated, and like straight and narrow, if that makes sense. Maybe if I had finished high school and I had started applying to different universities and I had, I don't know, had a whole Excel sheet that like showed all of the universities that accepted me, and I was like super organized, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do and who exactly I wanted to be from the very beginning. But that's not what happened now, is it? I finished school, I had random jobs from all over the place, I was going out a lot, I was confused, I was lost, I had no idea what I wanted to do or be, and I just got serious about applying for schools like maybe like the month before I had to actually like apply to schools. Like everything was super random, and the fact that I'm even here is a blessing, honestly. But it just made me realize that like when I think about my greatest achievements, for me personally, like things that I've achieved and like things that I've acquired over the years and that I can be like super proud of, it's not because it happened because I had some like calculated plan on how to become this person. Like I cannot remember a time when I had a plan and I actually saw it through. There have been times when I've come close, definitely, when I did part of a plan or when I did enough for me to have seen some kind of like semblance of results, but that's never the case. It's never the case that like I had a plan and I did it and then I saw results. I don't know why. It's just like not something that happens for me. And the reason why I kind of feel like this is the case is because, and I need you to stay with me here, right? Let's say you have a goal, you have a dream, you have an aspiration that is bigger than life itself. It's something that you think that this could never happen. There's no possible way that this dream could ever manifest in the real world, right? You have this dream. The possibility of this dream happening is so freaking low it will require luck, it will require a certain level of randomness, and there is no way in hell you can create a plan that will link you to this. You know what I mean? Okay, so I felt like I needed to redo this part because I do think the concept is very, very important, and I feel like we need to really let this one sink in, which is that when it comes to extraordinary goals, it's very difficult to come up with a path or a plan for these things because they involve things that you cannot predict. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to like life-changing goals where it's like you want to do something that is very, very large and very much bigger than yourself. You cannot create a path for it. That's just how it works. You can't, because it involves things that are completely out of your control. You can definitely make a plan that will help you to develop skills, to get you prepared for something like that. It will help you, if anything, it will significantly increase your chances of getting to your goal. However, every single little thing cannot be accounted for, which is why I think it's so important to learn very, very early on what it truly means to absolutely surrender yourself to this grand scheme of things, to surrender completely to the path of least resistance, because that's just genuinely going to make sure that you don't get your feelings but hurt. You know what I mean? Because if I'm being honest, if you follow your intuition, I think if you make sure that you're doing what you can and you're just like keeping an open mind and you're completely open to whatever needs to happen will happen, it doesn't have to follow this extreme, strict path, you open yourself up to so much more possibilities and opportunities. You have no idea what the next conversation or the next meeting, the next event, the next thing that happens for you. You have no idea what doors that thing is going to open for you. You just have no idea. That's just how it is. You just have to be open to anything happening. You have to be open to the world giving you your dream on a silver platter sometimes. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. My knees hurt. But anyways, I feel like I was really rambling, but that's really all I was trying to say, is that you can't really make a plan for something extraordinary, because if you could make a plan for it, then that means your goal is predictable, which it probably is not. And if it's predictable, then every single person in the world would be able to do that exact plan and also get the exact same output. But that's not the case now, is it? To become, like, for example, a really famous YouTuber, unfortunately, it takes a lot more than consistency, and it takes a lot more than dedication sometimes. It also takes having a personality that resonates with people. Sometimes it's about the times. Certain creators that resonated in like 2020 don't resonate right now. It depends on so many things, which is why I genuinely believe that you should just allow yourself to evolve and grow and do whatever you need to do. Like, just do what you feel like you need to do. Like, take chaotic steps, because you have no idea what that chaotic step is going to get you to. I don't know if I'm rambling again, but that's just what I want to say. And I feel like I know I've been like walking around and talking in circles, but I'm going to really try and like lock it in there. Like, really lock it in there. I want to give a couple examples in my life where I feel like I've been able to be a little bit successful in getting closer to my dreams and aspirations, but in ways that were random, chaotic, and fully improvised, right? Also, I have to add the fact that I am a very big believer in manifesting and spirituality and all these things. So I do definitely personally believe that they really help a lot, like believing and like setting your intentions and stuff like that. But let's say you're not into all of that stuff. I'm going to try and like bring this down, like really anchor this down. And what I see a lot of the times, Mama needs to sit down. What I see a lot of the times is that there is this huge gap. And I actually read like a Substack about it, about urgency. And there's this big gap between you wanting to do something, you wanting to create something, you wanting to start a business, you want to, I don't know, make more friends or something like that. You have like a goal or whatever, like you're excited about this thing that you want to do. And there's a big gap between that and actually like doing it, right? A lot of the times we fantasize about wanting to live this luxurious, beautiful life. We want to escape our circumstances because they freaking suck. We want better friends. We want love. We want adventure. We want side quests for days and days. But a lot of these ideas, they die in our head, right? And there's never, ever a time when we actually take those ideas that we have and materialize them, or like, alchemize them into real, tangible bodies of art. And I believe that the ways in which we can practice taking a messy approach to success, or to actualizing our dreams, is to immediately work or immediately act on those feelings that you get. Okay, act on the feeling that you experience when you're thinking about writing a book, you're thinking about making that art, you're thinking about making that video. Just when you feel it, just do it. It's so important to do stuff like that, because that is literally where your blessings are at. Your blessings are literally where, like, your body's telling you, I need to make something right now. It's probably not going to be amazing. It's probably going to be really shitty, actually. But you need to make that right now. And I think I had mentioned before that I'm going to give you some examples in my life where I have practiced this. And I'm going to give the example of my job. For a long time, I was working a job that I didn't necessarily like too much. It was not for me. And I felt really trapped until eventually I got fired. And I was in a very bad situation where I did not know where I was going to be able to get money to finance my life. And randomly, I was like, I need a job and I need it now. And so I got cute. I made it a whole thing. I even filmed it, and I went with two of my friends, and I was walking around with my CV, going to every single store, being like, hey, do you guys have, any place, are y'all's hiring? Are y'all's hiring? And by the end of the day, I had basically an interview. And by the end of the week, I had a job. And of course, there's the path of I could have been I'm gonna first make an Excel sheet that really shows all of the jobs I'm going to apply to. I'm gonna make sure that it's nice. I'm gonna make sure that my CV is perfect. I could have had that whole thing where it would have resulted in absolutely nothing. But I just knew I needed a job. I got up and I went to go get it. And I'm not trying to say that if you're in a situation that is terrible, the reason you're in that situation is because you're not getting up and you're not working or anything like that. But I think it's because I acted on that feeling that I need to go do this. Or the same thing with being here in Germany, Berlin. I had the feeling I want to go to Berlin, and I acted on it. And I think that's how it works. A lot of the times, you don't make friends in a normal way. You just randomly meet someone. You don't change your mind in a very specific way. You just watch a video one day on YouTube and boom, you've been radicalized. That's literally how it is. And so if we don't surrender to this, we don't surrender to the fact that we can have our entire lives shifted and changed in a matter of moments, then we're always going to stay rigid in our ways. We're going to be no, yes, I'm excited about this idea, but it needs to be perfect first before I can start. Yes, I'm excited about this idea, but I need to first write it down. I need to make sure that I have the best equipment. And I found myself today actually going down that insane rabbit hole of I need to buy a camera stand. I need a camera stand. I need to get a mic. I don't have a mic. And then I got home and I was like, I have a camera. I have a camera stand. I have a phone. So I can use this as a mic. So you have no freaking excuse. If you have an idea, make it into something that you can actualize. Like, make it into art. Make something, girl. Because I feel like for myself, especially when I started making TikToks and stuff, I realized that 90% of my videos will not matter. Like 90% of them don't matter that much. It's like maybe like 10% of my videos that like maybe get a lot of views and maybe get a lot of traction and maybe results in me getting more followers or something like that. But 90% of the time I'll have an idea, I'll make a video and no one will see it. Same thing here on YouTube, especially here on YouTube. I will make a video, I'll spend lots of time on this video, and no one will see it. And so, what even is the point of spending all of this time thinking, of perfecting, of living in a state of constantly wanting to perfect something if it's not even gonna be seen? Like, just make the video, make it look crap, let it be crap, and put it out there. Get rid of that video, like get rid of that idea. Just empty your mind of that idea and put it on the internet and move about your day, because you could spend a long ass time and be so attached to one idea and put it out into the world and get 0 likes, or you could just like make the thing today in a matter of hours and put it out there and also get 0 likes, but at least one is a less agonizing approach than the other, in my personal opinion. And I sincerely hope that you got something out of this video. I think the general moral of the story is that to just embrace how chaotic success can look like in general. If you think about your own life, for example, I'm sure you know, like, a lot of the cool things that happen for you, maybe it might be how you got your job, how you got your apartment, how you met your best friends. It's never like this clean cut way. It's really not. It's usually very random and chaotic and weird and funny and honestly a lot more interesting. So I genuinely suggest that you just surrender to the randomness that is this life. You will get what you want out of this life if you really, really want it bad enough, I think. I think it's just important to act on the feeling. Just act on the feeling. Do what you feel is going to get you closer to your dream all the time. Because I think the path to your dream exists inside of you. I think inside of you, it's going to tell you, go to that event, make that video, post that video you don't like, write that vlog, write that blog, write that book, talk to that person. That's literally what it's gonna do. It's just gonna be aiming you exactly to where you need to go. And even this video, I have no idea if I'm gonna post this video because I've been going around in circles. I need to get better at talking. I really do. I really need to get better at talking because this is not gonna cut it. But anyways, thank you for watching my video. Bye.